When I look at our community, I see challenges, ones that stretch back through a complicated history. But even with those challenges, there is hope. It's in the way we, the youth, are stepping forward alongside our elders, determined to create change. We're not just addressing the surface problems, we're working to understand and tackle the deeper roots of these issues.
So what happens upstream really tells a story of having to move against the current. So when you're moving upstream, you're moving really opposite of where the water is going. And that signifies a lot of the challenges that people and youth specifically are facing. Upstream means we know we're not there yet. We know we're not yet at the point where we're just dealing with the root of the problem, but we're trying. So like, not to ignore the challenges that are currently happening right now that do need action, but how can we also move through that to get to a point where we can then lay our eggs of wisdom that follow downstream, that eventually stop the challenges that are happening now. And so I think it's also like a long-term thought and a form of sustainability.
As far as public safety, we believe that our community knows what we need. So we decided to reach out to our own community and ask the question on what they think public safety meant to them. What does a safe community look like to them? And we got some really great answers, and a lot of it had to do with our youth. I developed the program with the idea in mind that our youth are the real power in our community. And the best way to do that, to me, is give our kids a safe venue in which to do that, with the proper supports, healthy supports. As a Syilx Nation and a Syilx person myself, to me that means that we need to bind our communities together, our families together, our nations together in a good way. So that's the way we think here at Public Safety in our offices and our thought patterns.
So some of the upstream changes that Youth Leadership Council has been taking with them upstream with this campaign is the cultural awareness and respect of the youth here today at OKIB, and then sharing that with youth in our local communities, like in so-called Vernon. So the Youth Leadership Council is really striving towards making these upstream changes like preventative education and awareness and safety of the youth, and addressing those needs, those specific needs, because there's a lot of disconnect with other like organizations or associations that think that they know what the youth need rather than actively listening to the youth and what those needs are. So the upstream campaign and changes are connected with public safety and that aspect of creating the awareness that has to take place, the education around it, the cultural safety and respect, especially because OKIB Youth Leadership Council is leading this campaign.
So this conference that the youth basically put together all on their own, all we did is support and back up, was to give them that confidence, that identity that I can do this. We do have the strength to do this. I am intelligent. I am worthwhile. My life has value, and I now have a purpose in life. Is to help my own youth, my other youth heal with me. To me, this conference is just a showcase of the power of our youth and what they can do when given a healthy for us to do it in.
One thing that I observed from our conference yesterday was the Youth Leadership Council, they were so excited. They were really thrilled that we went through with this conference. They were like, I'm so happy that we did this. And I was like, yay. And like when the conference was ending, some of the mentors were asking youth, okay, we got to go and get our buses, catch our buses, and none of the youth were leaving their tables yet because they wanted to listen to the rest of the conference and just take in that information. So I definitely know what we had to say, our message landed with the youth that day.
So I don't think there was an expectation that everyone was going to be like so engaged, sitting and listening the entire time. I mean, putting 250 kids in a room together, it's not going to happen. But the pockets of times where people were very engaged and they were taking stuff from it, or you're hearing side conversations, or even people going to the resource booths, giving them an opportunity to be together, to connect in a way that's like, doesn't prioritize technology necessarily.
I knew in my heart that this is what we needed in the community, and I believed in this project from the beginning, and it didn't really matter to me that other people didn't believe in it or doubted it or even thought that it wasn't possible, because I knew that if we worked hard and put all the hours that we did into it, that we could make something amazing happen. No matter what you do, no matter how good the work you're doing is, like, somebody's always gonna have something negative or like discouraging to say to you. And I feel like you can't really focus on those types of people or like let it drag you down, because at the end of the day, the things and the work that we're doing is so much bigger than us, and it's so important.
Our kids, especially our Youth Leadership Council, are really real go-getters. They're so highly intelligent, and they really are a complete package, the whole council. And with their diverse skills and different attitudes, it's just made everything so much easier to traverse the system now. To me, I've seen a lot of our youth and even some of our older people going through the system that maybe didn't really need to go through the system if they had a safe venue in which to grow, like we've given our youth council, and they've grown farther than I could ever imagine. They're showing the world through their own voices what they want. And right now it's to our nation, now it's reaching our community of Vernon as well. And even Takla Nation, West Bank First Nation, LSIB, their voices are singing their song around there. So what we're doing is helping them find their purpose. A lot of the times we get messed up on our purpose, but our purpose is meant to be good people. Happy, healthy, balanced people that help other people. And that's what these youth are trying to do by bringing other youth along to see what's happening upstream. And I just love that. So we're gonna see how far this fish goes and where it connects, because in reality, the salmon connects all over North America, right? So that's what we want to do. Just like that salmon, we want to find our way back home to spawn and grow new healthy kids and ideas and individuals, right? This conference wasn't just a youth conference. We tried to start a movement on what's happening upstream for our kids. And to me, it's a beautiful thing, because now our children are excited in our community anyway.
This journey is not one we can take alone. It needs the strength of our entire community. By coming together, youth and elders alike, we're making sure our voices are heard. Fixing the problems we see today is important, but it's just as critical to look upstream, to uncover these causes and begin to rewrite our story. This isn't just about addressing the present, it's about healing from the past, solving the problems of today. Together, we can create a path where everyone feels heard, seen, and cared for. We hope our message reaches across nations. It should inspire us to work together for a brighter, safer, and more inclusive future.
There's a wolf in my head and a sheep in my heart. It keeps me from my bed, my sleeps they fall apart. The noise is complacent, my sheets reek of art, but my mind is kept still you reap all the dark. And I wanna go, but she's holding me tight. I can see a bright glow, it reminds me of light, but it's cold like snow and it stings like ice. Just like a typo, can't change what's right, so I'm gone. But I'll be back in a minute, cause my heart feels cold, and I think that I regret it. Think all my peers know that I'm pathetic, can't let the beers go. Homie saying don't sweat it, goddamn. What's my plan? I can't remember. Started out in Jan, now it's December. Thought I was the man, found someone better. Found out who I am and wrote a letter. Said I miss your touch, sometimes I wanna go back, but I don't trust enough, and you know that. Think about you when I go to bed, it make me so sad. Yeah, it made me so sad.